Hello everyone, I am Erika of BEADINGSCHOOL.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly open beading workshop to make sure that every beader all around the world has company. Today we are going to bead my friends and colleagues' design, the Velvet Ray by ZUZI, inspired by the Coral Garden Beading School Academy theme box. But before we would start, please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me well, both from the Beading School Facebook page and also from the Beading School Facebook channel. I see Joyce, Antoinette, Ariane, Anita, Marie-Cecile, Hannah, Angelina, Anita, Jen, Molly, Ariane, Michelle, Violetta, Marlo, Robin, Judith, Vicky, and so many other beaders. So lovely ladies, can you hear me? Can you see me well? Judith says that all is okay. Then I am super happy to hear that. And Angelina says, this is such an unexpected and stunning design. ZUZI really shines during this theme. ZUZI keeps shining. I have to say, she keeps shining. She's such a queen lately when it comes to designing. Have you seen the calendar jewel design that she made previous month? Isn't it just insanely sparkly and amazing and beautiful? Also, her special Advent jewel that was available only during the Beading School Advent Adventure. I am mesmerized by her talent. But regarding the designer team, I also have other amazing news because you know our lovely Veronka, and tomorrow she's officially joining us as a full-time member instead of helping out part-time, and she will do this while also taking care together with her partner of her 3 little kids. And that is also such a skill and so beautiful to see how these amazing women, moms and friends and sisters and daughters come together and still manage to juggle so many different things. We should celebrate how strong together they are, how strong together we are, no matter what are the challenges in our lives. And Marlo is congratulating Veronka. I will check Facebook if I can make it work. Hopefully, yes. Let me see. It should be, maybe it could be okay now. Please let me know. And Joyce is excited for Veronka. So lovely ladies, if you have a Veronka design either ready or maybe waiting to be beaded, then dig it out, post it in the Beading School Club, and surprise her with a kind word or two, welcome her, and wish her all the best in the Beading School Club. Take a moment to celebrate the talent of this lovely lady too. But anyway, today, Velvet Ray. Everything coming from the newest Beading School Academy theme box, the Coral Garden, inspired by the underwater world and encouraging you to take a deep breath, jump despite the fear, breathe through it, in and out, because water doesn't kill, panic kills, as we divers like to say. So breathe through your fear and let in the beauty that is waiting for you under the surface, in the unknown. Embrace the colors, embrace the new shapes, also through ZUZI's velvet ray earrings on your bead mat. We are working with crazy, beautiful, vibrant, lively colors. We are working also with some new shapes like the horizontal cradle beads and also the teardrop cabochons from Aurora crystals. So we need a bit of getting used to this, but together we are rocking this, ladies. I already have my first half of the earring and I'm so happy with it that I decided to dedicate a full coffee time with Erika next week to talking about how I finished and how I added my personal touches to ZUZI's design. Also, in the meantime, walking you through some of the features of the special features of beading school tutorials that make them very special and easy to bead. Anyway, I would like to invite you to share and follow this video. Please give us a thumbs up, a love, even better, share this video with your beading friends, invite them to beading school, tell them about the academy, about no one has to bead alone. This is something that requires only a minute or two, but it makes such a difference. I would like to use this occasion to thank dear Sora, who posted a full video when she was showing in the Beading School Club how she has received her Fancies and Focals box to support her while beading from the Strong Together ebook. And it was so lovely to see. And I'm so happy that she will enjoy beading these, and thanks to the Fancies and Focals, it will be super easy to put together the components. And it was just so lovely also to hear her voice talking about it. And please, ladies, join the Beading School Club. That's where you can ask your questions. That's where you can post your creations. So I would love to see everyone's velvet race and Veronka designs and everything. In the meantime, you can already download the PDF tutorial that will make it easier for you to follow the Velvet Ray beading workshop. You can save it to your computer, you can print it, you can open it on the side, on your tablet, whatever works for you the best. You can download it from noonehas2beadalone.com, QR code on the screen, from beadingSchool.com/noonehas2beadalone/ or you can simply navigate to beadingschool.com. That's the easiest. And then find No One Has to Bead Alone in the main menu, beadingschool.com. You can also find everything in the Beading School bead shop that you need for the earrings in these exact colors, and of course many others. We ship worldwide to every country except Russia, and we always ship every package with a track and trace number, so you can keep your eye on until the moment until it arrives on your bead mat. We take full responsibility until it is with you and you go through everything if everything has arrived. And we cover the tariffs for USA beaders. It's very important to know. We have a new feature in the bead shop where you can see how much more you need to add to achieve discounted or free shipping no matter where you live, even FedEx to the USA. And yeah, I kindly ask you to place your next sparkly bead order at beadingschool.com if you enjoy this beading workshop. Thank you so much. Bernadette says, in the meantime, I received my Focals box today. So happy. Everything is so beautiful. It was very lovingly put together, dear Bernadette, really in the way to give you the biggest possible value and the biggest dose of happiness and happiness of creating when working with the Strong Together ebook. And in the meantime, downloading the tutorial. So if you go to no1has2beadalone.com, then you can choose between two options. Pink button takes you to the bead shop, and you can download the tutorial through the bead shop and support Beading School and No One Has to Bead Alone. I have also posted the link directly to the paid version. And for 3 days, as my gift and Beading School's gift to you, you can also download the PDF tutorial for free if you click on the yellow button. And what do you need for today's motif? First of all, my best recommendation is to sign up for the Beading School Academy Coral Garden box, because you already have everything in there, and it just makes it easy for you to join the No One Has to Bead Alone workshops. But if you are putting together your mini kit now, then let's see what you need. I will tell you numbers based on one motif. If you are beading an earring, then of course please multiply the number by 2. If you are creating a necklace or a bracelet of some kind, then please multiply the numbers by the number of motifs that you need. And for one motif, you need one 8mm Rivoli. You need 2 pieces of the 4 times 15mm Aurora Fancy Raindrop Cabochon, not teardrop, but raindrop, I apologize. Then you need 4 pieces of the horizontal 2-hole cradle beads. You need also 4 pieces of 4mm Preciosa bicones, 4 pieces of 3mm Preciosa bicones, 2 pieces per motif of 3mm fire polished beads, 8 pieces of true to fire polished beads, and a small amount of Miyuki Delica size 11 and round 15 Miyuki seed beads. Lovely ladies, do you have any questions about the material list? Vicky is asking in the meantime, when we acknowledge our lovely ladies, have we ever wondered if we have any male bead artists with us here? And dear Vicky, very good question. We do have some male beaders. They tend to be more silent. We do not have bead artists, male bead artists working with us or at the moment. We need to expand our horizons beyond the female bead artists, I think. So, lovely ladies, now I kindly ask you to focus on questions regarding the motif to make it also nice for beaders who will watch the recording later, and also help me with that so I can explain it better, I can focus better, the workflow stays nice and streamlined. And then in the end, there will be again space and time to ask any kind of questions that you would like to. So you will need 100 centimeters, 39 inches of 12mm 4LB fireline and a thin beading needle. You can bead a pair of earrings, smaller or bigger ones, if you extend it with some kind of charms. You can connect several motifs into a bracelet or a necklace. The ideas that you see on the screen are included in the tutorial. And as I mentioned, the design is the work of my lovely colleague and friend Susie. And if you would like to see more from her, then you can find her in the Beading School Designer Zone. Now I would like to switch to my hand camera. I see that Chantal has problems with downloading the file. It can happen that it goes to your spam folder. Please make sure to check that. And sometimes some email providers for some reason don't like beading tutorials. So if you have a backup email address, or maybe between your loved ones in your household, there is someone with a different kind of email address, not Yahoo, but for example, Gmail, then try that, dear Chantal, please. Thank you so much, and see you in a little while with beading. Lovely ladies, please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me well. Hopefully, yes. I had a tiny glitch, and I had to restart my camera. So please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, see my hand camera well. I would love to know that it is all right on your side. Angelina says that she can see me and hear me. Jen also says, so wonderful ladies, we can start. To start with showing you how to attach the Aurora crystal to the metal claw setting. This is a smaller one, a thinner one than our usuals, so I would like to make sure that you know my best practices. So when you receive the raindrop crystal, then it comes separate from the claw, and we need to get them together. So what I like to do is I grab a tiny spoon from my coffee table, and then I gently place the raindrop on top of the claw. It does not sink into the claw, but sits on the edge of it. And what I learned from lovely ZUZI, this is possibly learned from from an unfortunate incident. It luckily did not happen to me. She recommended and sent her best regards to start with the prongs on the thicker side of the cabochon. So I gently place the back of my little spoon next to a prong on the thicker side, and I push it until it lays flat, and I do the same on the other side. And then now I move on to the thinner side. Zuzi said that for her, the raindrop unfortunately snapped when she started with the thin side. So this worked better for her. So ultimate tool, ladies, a spoon. And this I got actually from Sarah. It's such a beautiful one. So in the first step, we will put this aside for now, but in the first step, we will need 4 pieces of horizontal cradle beads. We will need 2 pieces of 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐊 size 11s and 2 pieces of 3mm fire polished round beads. We start by picking up a delica, then a horizontal cradle. I already checked mine, but always take a good look at the holes to make sure that they are not clogged. Then pick up a fire polished bead, a cradle, another delica, cradle, fire polished bead, and the 4th last cradle bead. When you have all these 8 beads on your thread, 4 big ones and 4 small ones in between, then bead through everything one more time. I do not make a circle yet because it's so easy to bead through everything in one go when I have them nice and straight on my thread yet. And then I pull together everything and I bead through the very first delica bead for a third time. So when I pull my working end and my tail thread, then they will hang from the same delica bead but in opposite directions. You do not need to tie a knot, and whenever you feel like it, you can secure and trim the tail thread. Jen says, thank you for showing that with the cabochons. My pleasure. And Cindy asks, does it matter what side the cradle beads go on? They are identical from both sides, so you don't need to take into account that which hole do you bead through first. And let's see what's happening in the next step. We are now adding some 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐊 size 15 round seed beads and some 𝐂𝐂𝐊 delicas. And there will be 2 different combinations and thread passes that we are using, alternating. So when we are exiting the delicas, we will use the same, and when we are exiting a cradle bead facing a fire polished bead, we will also use the same. But these 2 and these 2 are not identical. So I start by exiting from a delica. I pick up 3 pieces of round 15s and another delica. I bead back through the round seed beads. And then I bead through delica and horizontal cradle bead. Here, when I'm facing the fire polished bead, I pick up 3 round 15s a delica, and 3 more round 15s. I skip the fire polished bead and I bead through the horizontal cradle, same hole as before, and the delica bead. Now I do the same as at the beginning. So I pick up 3 round 15s and the delica bead. I bead back through the round 15s and I cross one more time the delica, and I also bead through the horizontal cradle bead. Now I pick up 3 round 15s, a delica, and 3 more round 15s. And I finish this step by beading through the first hole of the cradle bead. This is how it looks like. And we can continue to the next step. It looks like some exotic underwater animal, in my opinion. Molly says the cradle beads are so cute. I agree, Molly. What's happening in the next step? We are getting close to catching the Rivoli in the middle, and I love it how ZUZI created the bezel that holds the Rivoli in place. So we are going to connect to each other the delica beads that we added in the previous step. First, we will get into position by beading through delica, cradle, 3 seed beads, and 1 more delica. Here I actually had later a gap between my seed beads, so I will start from the delica on the other side. So I repeat a bit of the thread path, and I start from the delica on the opposite side, and I add groups of round 15 through to round 15 in between the delica beads that I attached in step 2 as parts of the 2 different seed bead groups. For identical groups, it does not matter that the seed bead groups are different. The differences will now disappear. Please note that during the upcoming steps, the bezel and the middle of the motif will be illustrated in a bit simplified version. Otherwise, all the little seed beads would make the drawing very busy and harder to follow. So we want to always keep the illustrations nice, neat, clean, as simple as possible, because even if we can work with it, but our brains get tired if there is too much on the picture. So I added the groups of round 15 through to round 15 all around, and let's see what's happening in the next step. Now I pop in the Rivoli, I pull my thread in a way that I pull together the groups of round 15s, round 15 through to round 15, and then I bead all around while skipping the delica beads, and I want to pull together the groups of round 15 through to round 15. And this is what makes the bezel super secure from the top. Thank you, Angelina. I bead until I reach a delicate bead sitting in the end of a group of 3 round 15s, holding a group of 3 round 15s. And then I bead through those 3 round 15s and the delicate bead that they are anchored to. So this is how it looks at the moment. Please let me know, ladies, that if you have any question. Angelina says, I love that this bezel creates a rhombus shape. And that's something that I just wanted to point out, that instead of a square, the 4 groups of round 15 through to round 15, they will be shaped as a rhombus. So the angles at the corners, they are not equal. There is a sharper and there is a duller angle. That is not a problem. This is how it should be. And if we don't have questions, let's see what's happening in step 5. Yay, adding the raindrops. That's amazing. What you need to note is that we are adding the raindrops where you have the 3mm fire polished bead in the base of the bezel, and we will be adding the raindrops in a way that the thick side sits next to the rivoli and the thin side sits on the outside edge. So we start out from the delicate that I mentioned in between the cradles. We bead through a cradle and then we pick up delicate 4 round 15s, 3, 4, raindrop through the thick side, 4 round 15s, and 1 more delicate bead. So this is what I have on my thread. And then I bead through cradle. I jump over the fire polished bead. I skip it. I do not bead through the fire polished bead. So I bead through cradle, delicate, and cradle. Now I repeat the same. So I pick up delicate 4 round 15s, the raindrops through the thick side, 4 round 15s, and 1 more delicate. I jump over, I skip the fire polished bead, and I finish this step by beading through cradle, delicate, cradle. Lovely ladies, how is it going now after attaching the cabochons? Do not worry if they are still loose, but please keep your tension tight. Do not leave any gaps, but you also don't need to worry yet if you feel like this is not yet sturdy. It should not yet be sturdy. The little bot of the raindrop will sit in between the seed beads on the side of the rivoli. I really like that. Susan says, fascinating shapes, very dramatic. Indeed, it looks so cool. And let's see what's happening in step 6. Now we are making it sturdier. So first of all, We are exiting a cradle. Then we bead through the fire polished beads that was previously skipped. Leave alone the delicas and the seed beads that we added in the previous step for now. So after the cradle, we bead through the fire polished bead, the cradle, the other cradle, delica, cradle. And now starts the fun. There will be snapping. I bead through delica and 2 round 15s. There are 4 round 15s altogether. So I bead through delica and 2 round 15s. Now I snap my thread under the prong like this. I skip the 3rd round 15 and I bead through the very last, the 4th one. This makes the whole thing already very sturdy, you will see. Then we bead through the raindrop, same hole as before. And also through the round 15, which is next to the hole. Now comes the snapping on the other side. Gently leading the thread under it. And then I skip a round 15 and I bead through 2 round 15s and a delica. When I pull my thread, then the raindrop is already very sturdy. Now I bead through cradle, delica, cradle, and I do the same. So I bead through delica and 2 round 15s. I snap the thread under the prong. I skip around 15 and I bead only through the last 4th one, through the raindrop and through 1 round 15. Snap, skip around 15, and I finish this step by beading through 2 round 15s, a delica, and the inside hole of a cradle bead. So this is how it looks like. Lovely ladies, please let me know if you have any questions, any comments. Marcelina says, I had to go through the round bezel part twice because my rivoli kept popping out. And Ariana advises, just a little attention needed to find the correct place behind the rivoli, but everything is still clear. And indeed, ladies, if you need it, go twice through the true twos and the seed beads on the front, as Marcelina did. And then it gets a lot safer. Ariana also says that afterwards that it immediately got sturdier. So let's see what's happening in step 7. We will be working on the outer edge now, adding lots of crystals and seed beads and even some true to fire polished beads in between the outside holes of the raindrops and also the outside holes of the cradle beads. To get in position before adding the first new beads, I bead through delica and cradle, cradle, 4 round 15 seed beads. This is needed only now while I am getting into position. Through the raindrop, and through 1 round 15. And now starts the fun. We are going to add a bunch of new beads. So I am exiting around 15 from the direction of the raindrop. I pick up Delica, 4mm bicon, and round 15. I bead through the outside hole of the next horizontal cradle. I pick up a group of 2 round 15s, two round 15s, 3mm bicon, Delica, 3mm bicon, and 2 more round 15s. And I bead through the outside hole of the next cradle. Here I pick up round 15, Preciosa bicon in 4mm size Delica bead. I bead only through the 4th round 15 out of the group of 4 in the direction from the middle of the motif towards the outside edge of the motif. I pick up Delica through 2, Delica, 2 round 15s, and I bead through the outside hole of the raindrop, getting nicer, more detailed, sparklier with every stitch. Now I pick up the same group in opposite order. 2 round 15s, Delica, through 2, Delica. I bead through the round 15 out of the group of 4 that is closest to the hole of the metal claw setting. I pick up Delica, 4mm bicon, round 15, and I bead through the outside hole of the next cradle bead. I pick up 2 round 15s, 3mm bicon, Delica, 3mm bicon, 2 round 15s. I bead through the outside hole of the next cradle. Then I pick up round 15, 4mm bicon, Delica bead, and I bead through the round 15 out of the group of 4 that is closest to the hole of the raindrop on the thick side. I pick up Delica through 2, Delica, 2 round 15s. I bead through the second hole of the raindrop. Then I pick up 2 round 15s, Delica, through 2, Delica. I bead through the round 15 I was exiting before I would pick up the very first new bead. So this is how it looks like, and I still need to get in position for the next step by beading through Delica bicon round 15 and the outside hole of the cradle bead. So ladies, this was a big, long, bit complicated, though, okay, complicated when it comes to like which bead, where, what group, but straightforward when it comes to thread pass. So just pay very good attention. So do you have any questions about that? And Ariana, thank you so much for bringing my attention to a typo or mistake in the text. Would you be please so kind to send this to info@beadingschool.com? Then we can adjust the text and upload the new version of the tutorial, because at the moment I really need your help, so I do not need to interrupt the broadcast and make a note or to send an email. Thank you so much. Iveta sees a butterfly in the middle, and Corinne says, this is so beautiful. And Gunnar says, I love this shape. And Ariana found that it got immediately sturdy. And let's see what's happening in step 8. In step 8, we are adding a bit more seed beads and also making some of the parts pointier. Thank you so much, Ariana. I really appreciate it. So starting out from the horizon, from the cradle, I bead through 2 round 15ths and a bicon. Then I skip the delica. And I bead through bicon directly and 2 round 15ths. By the way, ladies, I am doing my best always to avoid sharp angles between bicon bead and something else. And when it happens that it's like a bit sharper, but this is not like a 90% degree, this is not like a very, very sharp degree, but how ZUZI does it, and I also prefer to do it this way, is that first I pick up the group, also including the seed bead between the bicons, and then to make the shape pointier, I pass from bicon to bicon. I do not do it the opposite way, that bicon, and then later I add the delica, because theoretically it would look the same. However, I find it that this makes it for the thread to, like, this is a healthier situation for the thread, let's say, that the tension lays dominantly on the delica in between the bicons, but it is not such a tension later when we cross from bicon to bicon that it would damage the thread. Still, I do not pull with full force, but this is the way to do it if you would like to incorporate something like this into your designs. And do not go super sharp on bicons, never, not even with Preciosa. Anyway, I am facing now a horizontal cradle bead, and I pick up a group of 5 round 15ths. I skip the cradle and I bead through round 15, bicon, delica. Here, I skip the round 15 and I bead directly through delica through to delica and 2 round 15ths. Here, there is some more snapping or pronging going on. So exiting the old beads meaning I picked them up in the previous step. I already snapped my thread under the prong, and then I pick up 3 round 15ths, a delica, and 3 more round 15ths. This is a tiny bit tricky, because you need to snap your thread right away under the prong. What I found that if you struggle with it a tiny bit, then I recommend beading through the raindrop after picking up these beads, Then bead through all of them one more time, or you can already actually skip the delica in between because we will anyway do that. And now, while exiting the 3 round 15s, then I do the snapping, and it makes it easier for me to hold this group of 7 seed beads in place. Now I continue through 2 round 15s, delica through 2 delica. I skip the round 15 and I bead directly through delica bicon round 15. I pick up a group of 5 round 15s. Always when I reach the cradle bead, I need a group of 5 and I skip the cradle, continue into 2 round 15s and bicon. Again, thank you, Ariane. Again, how I explained earlier. Now it's time to make this pointier, but gently. So I skip the delica and I bead through bicon and 2 round 15s. I pick up 5 round 15s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I skip the cradle and I bead through round 15 bicon delica. I skip the round 15 and I bead through delica through 2 delica and 2 round 15s. Now comes snapping, and with my thread hanging from under the prong, I pick up 3 round 15s, a delica bead, and 3 more round 15s. For me, it's easier to hold it at the moment if I do this extra personal trick, but might not be necessary for you. So I bead it back through the second hole of the raindrop. I bead through 3 round 15s. I skip the delica and directly I bead into the 3 round 15s. Then I do the snapping on this side. I continue through 2 round 15, delica through 2 delica. And thank you, Joyce. Thank you so much. Delica. I skip the round 15. I bead into delica bicon round 15. Since I am facing now a cradle, I pick up 5 pieces of round 15 seed beads. And I bead through bicon, delica bicon. Here, it's not, oh, sorry, not directly to bicon. After the cradle bead, I need to bead through 2 round 15s and then bicon, delica bicon. I do not need to skip the delica here because I did the skipping already. So this is it. This is how it looks like, and I'm in love with this, ZUZI. I hope you will rewatch this video. And let's see what's happening in step 8. In step 8, we are still streamlining this a little bit, but with just tiny, tiny modifications. It means there is not much work left. However, since those are only tiny modifications, you need to pay special attention to notice all the little details, because it is about the details. We even had a coffee time with Erika talking about how to elevate your designs to luxury level by paying attention to those last 5-10%. When we get comfortable, when we get lazy, let's not do that, ladies. Let's make it super pretty. So what we are going to do is we are going to fill the gaps here on one hand, and on the other hand, we are going to make this group of 5 pointier over the cradles. So I bead through 2 round 15s, joining the cradle to the bicon, 2 round 15s from the group of 5. I skip the middle round 15 from the group of 5, and I bead through the number 3 and number 4 and 5, and also into the group of round 15 by 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐊. Here, I am beading on the edge through the seed beads. And when I reach the gap, then I add a round 15 to fill in the gap. If you are short on thread, then you can already now add the earring hook or add the charm, whatever component or other bead you want to join here. So if you are short on thread, go for it. Angelina recommends making it into a brooch. She will wear it on her white jacket, and I think it will look amazing. Now I continue on the edge, and again I fill in around 15 into the gap between the two groups. For some reason, I really like this part when I'm beading from delica into delica, and then the delica starch when I skip the round 15 is just a part that I enjoy. Sometimes I have these quirky favorites from tutorials that feel good. Anyway, I'm doing the same all around. So I'm making the groups of 5 over the cradles pointier. By skipping the middle bead in the group of 5 and filling in the gaps. And all what is left is adding your personal touches, adding crystal connectors, metal findings, adding an earring hook, adding charms, drops, bezeled cabochons to join motifs. Up to you, ladies. So lovely, ladies. Jen says, this beautiful motif has so many possibilities. So before we would say goodbye for the week, let me know, please. I'm curious. What are you making this motif into? If it will be a brooch, an earring, a pendant, a bracelet, what will you make? And also let me know all your questions about this motif or whatever else that is on your mind. On Tuesday, I will be waiting for you with a coffee time with Erika dedicated to ZUZI's velvet tray, because I did some personal touches, including some extra bicons, and I want to explain how I was thinking. I want to also show you some tips and tricks, so I can't wait to see you. And the next week on Thursday, we are going to bead a motif from 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐊 that will be also super pretty. I love her designs. In the meantime, when I was showing you the video of the Coral Garden box, I actually also realized that I miss a jewel. So I quickly put on Chloe's beautiful necklace from the Strong Together ebook, since it matches my outfit so well. Lovely ladies, while I am waiting for your questions, I would like to mention that finally we have 10 millimeter Preciosa fancy bowls, crystal balls available in the bead shop. You loved the 6 millimeter ones. I love the 6 millimeter ones. And finally, we also have the bigger version. So there are still a few available, but very, very few boxes available. Don't hesitate long. The best deal is the bundle that gives you 40 balls in cold colors and 40 balls in warm colors. Next week during Coffee Time with Erika, we will raise the price of this by 10 euros. So this is the best possibility. You can also enjoy the 10 millimeter balls one by one, but the price is higher compared to the box value. And today the ladies actually did a restock. Yay! So if you are a good Beading School Academy student, then you have already noticed, I saw you ladies, I'm keeping my eyes on you, both of them, that some of you might have got the email letting you know that these are back in stock. So the 6 millimeter Preciosa balls are also restocked, and the tiny ovals from the Sweet Margarita box were also restocked, and I'm in love with those. We need more of those. So yeah, those are also restocked. And what else is restocked? Ooh, the 18 millimeter Preciosa fancy cushion from Vintage Rose and Light Siam. There are some few place pieces left that the ladies found in the treasury still. Then we have the Shore Butterflies available now in 5 colors, restocked again. The Smoked Sapphire 4.5 millimeter Preciosa round rondelles that were part of the Lakeside Poetry Beading School Academy theme box were restocked. Then the Silver Aquamarine by 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐊. Then the Crescent Art Cabochon in Antique Rose Quartz was restocked. Some metal components, the Sweet Margarita handmade glass cabochon in turquoise green was restocked. So it is really, really worth it to check out the treasury restock category. Also, the beautiful velvet jewelry boxes recently were restocked. Most of them are gone. I also grabbed one, but there are also still some left for you. Lovely ladies, do you still have some questions? I would love to answer your questions right away. Lita says, in the meantime, I'm not speed beading today, but I think I'm going to make it into a bracelet. I have enough materials to make enough for something very luxurious. I'm really curious, Lita. I was thinking about it actually, that we could also join the motifs this way and then add bezeled cabochons in between, maybe the square stitch bezels, because I was talking about square stitch bezels so much on Tuesdays that I think I'm now dreaming about square stitch bezels. I love your idea. Then Ariana says, with the points from the last step, this motif looks even more like an exotic sea creature. Totally. Jen says, this motif has so many possibilities. And Anna says, actually, not everything that is restocked goes into the treasury restock section. It would be great if they could. Yes. Sometimes, unfortunately, due to the workload, the ladies do not manage to. They are doing their best, but it's not always 100%. Please bear with us. Lita says that the 4mm Malibu Blue Preciosa Bicons are back in stock. That is good to know. I might need some. But anyway, ladies, thank you so much for today. As always, it was such a pleasure to bead with you. Remember that if you place an order requiring shipping this week, then we will also add one gift per beader. And this time it will be a bag of Preciosa Bicon beads. Those are always very handy in your stash, no matter which size or color. And we have a special deal for the 10mm ball boxes. Then it goes away. If there are any left, there won't be, I think. So thank you so much also, Zuzi, for beading this. Let's celebrate Veronka's new chapter at Beading School during the weekend. And I can't wait to see your creations, to read your questions, and to see you again next Tuesday. So lovely ladies, thank you so much. Loving the Beading School life that I can live together with you. I'm so incredibly grateful and happy and feel so inspired by your energy. Take good care of yourselves. Take good care of your loved ones. Happy beading and see you soon again. Bye bye.